Hey friends, it's been a while since we've given you an update, so today's the day. We have been in our house for just over a year, and we wanted to share with you the top 7 things that we've learned in living off the grid for the past 12 months. So here it is. Watching the weather gives us 4 different pieces of information. One being, are we going to be able to work inside or outside? Is it going to be too hot or too cold? Where are we working for the day? Another one is, who's cooking? Are we going to cook inside, which is my deal, or cooking outside, which Brian loves to grill? We just don't want to heat up the house unnecessarily by cooking inside. Our house is so efficient that it will retain that heat even when we don't want it to. So we try to avoid that.
A third area that is impacted by the weather is our rain catchment. So if there's rain in the forecast, we need to make sure that we move water out of our catchment tank into our clean tank so that we don't miss out on free water. So our solar production is impacted by the weather too, obviously. What we found that, kind of surprising, Colorado says they have 330 plus days of sun. They probably fudge on that number just a little bit, but we have sunny days most of the time. But on the cloudy or rainy days, we still make a lot of electricity. Even when it snows, we can make electricity until the panels are completely covered. Which brings us to our next point. If you remember last year, this time, we only had 2/3 of our system in as far as panels go. We were having trouble with our batteries. So we weren't producing all that we could produce, and we weren't able to store all that we were able to produce. Now, a year later, we are producing twice as much as we were producing last year, which has allowed us the luxury of saying, okay, what do we do with this extra electricity now that we're producing? We're actually making way more than we can use during the day. So we've put in a couple of new things to help us store that energy in different ways and take advantage of it. We're going to do a deep dive into all the ins and outs of our solar system in another video.
Living off the grid is a lot of work. We are never short on activities. Some of the things that we've been doing recently this summer, we did a lot of fire mitigation. We limbed up trees, took some down, but then there's also things like we want to improve our systems. So we're constantly testing and tweaking and trying to get that to be as good as possible. We also have to maintain our truck. We have to maintain our tractor. There's not a hardware store up here or a place to go get your oil changed. So a lot of that stuff we have to do ourselves. We maintain all of our equipment, like our chainsaws, and those blades need sharpened. So there's all different kinds of things. Little things break down, we gotta take care of it.
Number 4 is that you can never have too many tools, hardware supplies, or just extra pieces and parts of stuff laying around because things break. Like Jody said, there's no hardware store, and so when something breaks, we've got to fix it. And so it's better to invest in the tools, quality tools. I have found out, buy the good stuff because you need it to last. I've already had to upgrade things that I kind of went cheap on. One being our tractor. We had to upgrade that because we use it all the time and it just wasn't getting the job done. So instead of buying 2 things, one bad, one good, just go for the good stuff. It lasts longer and you're able to depend on it because a lot of times something breaks and we need to get out, or it's going to cost an arm and a leg to get somebody up here to fix something. So we just have to do it ourselves. So you can never have too many tools or supplies, and make sure they're good.
This is one of our favorite spots to come and look at the view, the sun, the clouds. Everything makes it look different every day. Also, this is a place where we have a lot of wildlife come through, so we've set up a game camera to see what all comes through here, and we're very surprised.
We've also discovered that, no matter how much we enjoy the peace and quiet, there's some days we can go, not just days, we can go a week and be up here and not hear another human voice besides our own. And just the sounds of nature. That's nice, but you know what? Human contact is nice too. And so we've discovered that the relationships that we have with other people on this mountain are huge. It's more than just being neighbors. You got to have each other's back. During the fire, and we've had other kind of sketchy and somewhat frightening situations where you got to rely on the other people on this mountain to have your back, and you have to have theirs. When the snow came through, we all worked together to get ourselves out. Just last week, a storm came through, a lightning storm, and lightning struck and started one of the trees on fire on the other side of the mountain. So we hopped in the truck and threw the shovels in the back, and boom, we're over there. And we know that other people would do the same for us. So relationships, hugely important.
Probably the biggest thing that we've learned being off-grid, and most surprising to us, is we are way more capable of doing things than we actually thought.
Yeah, for sure. When we started this out, we had no idea what we were doing, and we've learned a lot, and some of the challenges actually seemed almost insurmountable. How am I ever going to figure out how to do this solar? How am I ever going to figure out how to do whatever? But you know what? We figured it out, and it's given us confidence, a lot more confidence, I think, to be more reliant on ourselves and our abilities. And I feel like that's kind of spilled over into other areas of our lives as well. Do you?
Yeah. One saying or phrase that I've heard recently that really kind of hit home was, how do you eat a whale? And it's one bite at a time. And I looking back, that's exactly how we did this project. Just one bite at a time. And I'm not sure we're done eating the whale yet.
I'm not sure I've acquired the taste for whale yet either. But you can do a lot more than you think you can. Just put your mind to it and keep taking the bites of whale. So, we gotta go eat some whale now. So we'll catch you in the next video where we'll break down a lot of the projects we've been working on. All right, thanks, see ya.